my cleaner was in today and I think she has wiped the dust or something, and now my ring light does not want to live its life. I just hope you stay up. Hello teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the Midnight Pizza triple threat was a Freudian slip box. However, I do want to talk a little bit about, I think it was the live she did after, because she's really been panning out the lives right now. So she's doing the mukbang and then she's going live and just trying her best to get content and payment. So she had the I Need a Vacation live, I think it was. I started watching the live through Pulpy earlier after I got back from groceries and I was unpacking and stuff, but I haven't finished watching that live yet. However, I do just want to talk about a couple of things that I've gotten to, mostly because it made me laugh when Pulpy got excited. One was her vacation, just because obviously that was the point, the travel that's coming up soon. And two was the plane. They're all kind of connected, obviously. So she was talking about fitting on the plane, and obviously that's been a conversation that's been coming through recently. She confirmed she'd only booked one seat, because of course she did. And the way she was talking about it, she then suddenly went, oh yeah, Salar's going to be there. I don't need to worry about this. I'm so silly. Pulpy got real excited that she may have just told it on herself and is actually going back to Canada by herself. From the fact that she's trying to eat all the food and they're trying to get the stuff ready for the cats and things, I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I would love to be wrong about it because I would much prefer her in Canada. She hasn't confirmed where she's going yet. Speculations include Morocco, which she's mentioned several times, and I said I was there for Malaysia a couple of times back, but we don't actually know for sure. I find the way she's talking about both these things to be really strange. One, in terms of the plane, she was like, oh, we've booked the ticket, I haven't booked my seat yet. So aside from the fact that she made it sound like Salar was not going to be there, I don't understand how you booked your ticket and not your seat, because usually when you book your ticket, they give you the option of booking your seat, or they auto-assign you a seat if you don't want to pay to book it. And wherever Chantal's going, the flight's going to be long enough that that would have been an option, I do believe. So she is going to have a seat assigned at this point. Now, she did talk about wanting to potentially go up to the counter and say, look, if you have any seats available with an empty space next to them if the flight's not full, which, given that they seem to be flying quite soon and schools in the region are restarting now, so which is possibly one of the reasons they're traveling, because prices will go down and the airlines will be less busy, it's perfectly possible that they may be able to accommodate an extra seat for her. But she'd still have a seat that they just change. It might be she doesn't know it yet. But what really got me, she was like, oh yeah, I think they have a service where you can just pay $80 for the extra seat. And I was like, why haven't you done that then? I did not understand it. Because if you're telling me that the airline has a well-defined, which I would consider, hey, I know the price, I know what this is going to take, process or procedure for passengers of size, which is great, to be clear, and you can just go, hey, I can pay $80 more, why on earth haven't you done it? Because one of the reasons we've been saying she hasn't been booking, other than the fact that she's completely selfish, is that she maybe can't afford it, because flights are expensive and have been expensive. But for $80 is what, 65 pounds? She can afford that. She probably spent that much on takeout the other day. So the idea that that's an option and she isn't taking advantage of it is absolutely crazy to me. It could be that she just can't confirm it until day of travel because they don't know how busy the flight's going to be until day of travel. But with things like this, I'm assuming you could just call the airline and say, hey, I'm a passenger of size, I'm looking to take advantage of this. Could I be put down on the list so that they know at check-in if there's space available to assign me next to an empty seat? And then she could do that on the phone, so she wouldn't even have to look in their face while she said it. Because there is no real good reason for her not taking advantage of $80 far before this. If she can afford the flight to wherever she's going, if she can afford her takeout, she can afford the $80. The other thing was really just, and this could just be because she wants to hide it from us, because I would be the first to say, yeah, there will be people who will call that airport. They'll call, they'll say she's there illegally, catch her at immigration, blah, blah, blah. Don't do this. It's not worth it. Don't do it. So I can see why she's not saying her date of leaving or where she's going, but not having a date to come back is strange. Because if this is just a holiday, then you have to plan where your hotel's gonna be. And like, as much as Chantal would like to put out this idea that she's free and wild and will go at her own pace, and as much as you absolutely can backpack without a plan, it's not really Chantal. She likes to know where she's going to seal. And to know what hotel you're getting means you need to know how long you need to be there. And she went to multiple places in Thailand and she could do that again, but I can't help but remember that kind of time of dead space she had at the end of Thailand, where she seemed kind of stuck there without a plan, which makes me think perhaps that she's anticipating having a problem again, because there seemed to be a problem. Speculation would be that she wasn't able to get back into Kuwait with a tourist visa so soon because she'd had so many and maybe they needed to take a break. So while she might just not be saying when she's coming back, so again, people can't cause her trouble at the airport, she also might not want to admit that it could cause her trouble and that she might need to be away for a longer time because she doesn't know how they're going to react. So if she knew, okay, I have to be out the country for 6 weeks, we would have been hearing about this wonderful trip they had planned around different areas for weeks. They don't know. She said last time she came from Thailand that she wouldn't go for that long again, so she doesn't want to intend on a long trip if she doesn't have to, but it will depend on whatever it was that kept them in Thailand to begin with, which, like I said, could be visa things. You're not supposed to have tourist visa after tourist visa after tourist visa. People do it, and they do it without getting caught. But we got the general impression that something wasn't as planned in Thailand, and it might be they're worried about the same thing here. So if they end up getting stuck wherever they are, it'll be a case of, no, we planned it to be a bit longer. No, I'm just happy sealing, while they sort out whatever it is and she's not tied down to a return date. All right, that's my thought on that anyway. And let's get on to this.
Okay, guys, so
Hi.
I have this triple treat box.
Triple bypass box. My God, you do not need this.
From Pizza Hut. And I just gave Salah his pizza.
This is intended for a family, ma'am. You cannot convince me otherwise.
And his wedges. And I'm taking the wings. And I'm going to try the cookie for you guys.
For us, thank you so much. Look at the size of the pizza and look at the size of the cookie. They're the same. A brownie or whatever it is.
Whoa.
She got her arm in that sauce. Be careful.
Let's see if the cat likes this box.
It smells of food.
Okay,
Probably
so...
will. Is that full sugar 7-Up? It looks like it.
Wow.
Why are you surprised you ordered it?
Yum. Can you say yum? Garlic parmesan wings. And I'm gonna eat my dessert first. I'm trying some of this cookie. Oh, it's crumb.
Darling, utensils. You just grabbing into that. If you're gonna pretend to be sharing it, at least use utensils. She just can't wait.
It's like too crumbly though. It's like undercooked.
It's meant to be gooey, I'm assuming. It looks like a brownie. Use a fork. I don't think they're intending for you to be ripping into it with your bare hands.
It's like buttery and chocolatey. Oh my gosh.
It's a brownie. What were you?
Oh my gosh.
Won't get into it.
7-Up Zero?
Oh, it's zero. My mistake. It is a diet soda. Everything will be fine. None of the rest of it will count.
I'm so hungry. It's been hours since we both ate these wings.
Generally, you do leave hours between meals. I'm just saying.
They look so bomb.
Careful. One day, she is going to swallow the wishbone and she is going to choke. You know how you're meant to remove it for animals?
Amazing food. Amazing.
Later in the other life, she was like, oh yeah, the chicken wings weren't very good. It's like, well, yeah.
I got super supreme pizza. Just pan pizza. I don't like stuffed crust that much, honestly.
I feel like that is a solid lie. I can't imagine any methodology for getting more cheese in a pizza would be disliked by her. I swear to God, if she says this pizza is a personal size, I'm going to the website.
I don't know why. I find it a bit much.
She is known for not overindulging in cheese. As she dips it in ranch.
So I did a live stream earlier and I talked about some things about my dieting on and off.
I didn't watch this live stream, but it seems like she summarizes it pretty well here, so we'll just get into it here.
And I said that I can understand how it seems I'm trolling you guys. I get people's hopes up, I get them on board with my journey, that I'm gonna get healthy. Because I don't dispute that people care about me.
What? I don't think anyone who's been here long or even medium term gets their hopes up anymore, but I did just miss what she said because she was shoving pizza in her face. Did she say she thinks people don't care about her? Let's listen to that again.
Because I don't dispute that people care about me.
Because I don't just think that people care about me. I'm sorry, I don't understand that sentence. Do excuse me.
And I basically said that it's my mistake, in a sense, making promises or claims I can't stick to.
Wipe your mouth, please. As I say, nobody who's been here is expecting Chantal to stick to a promise of any kind, really. But yes, she does set up the expectations, and it's not that she doesn't do them, because there are tons of creators out there in the weight loss space that will fail and will still have support of their audience as they try, because we see authentic tries. We see the effort they're putting in, and sometimes the way they deal with food, it shows on camera. And it's difficult because losing weight is difficult. But Chantal comes back with this, with like wings and ranch and an entire brownie dessert. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8-piece dessert that she's just gonna rip into with her bare hands, and a medium-sized pizza. And will usually tell people to go F themselves for being concerned. So yes, people are gonna have something to say about that, because the first time you play on their emotions, they're going to genuinely want better for you. And when you realize it's all just crap, people don't like that. They don't like feeling like they're deceived. And Chantal does this enough that any apology on that does not feel authentic. And I know we've talked very often about the lack of authenticity we see on channel, but that's what draws people in. It's feeling like they are an honest and true part of your life. And she'll sit there and say, well, this is my truth, I don't want to hide it. She wants to hide it all the time. No one is going to trust what they're saying to her, and therefore no one really connects with her.
So I want to apologize to those people who think that's the case, you know?
Nobody is going to believe your apology, because in 2 minutes you'll be raging at people again. It's exactly what I mean. If we felt that Chantal was making an honest try of things, we would understand when she honestly failed. But hands up, how many people believed her? And how many people are expected to believe her as she says this, slurping down all of these things? This isn't just, God, I had a pizza for dinner and I feel bad. And yes, there's a morality that shouldn't be applied to food, but frequently is when you feel like you failed. She is showcasing what she is doing. She is showing that she understands what she's doing, and then she presents it to her audience like it's the form of authenticity and honesty that she's hoping she'll get for it, when it's actually not. It's just her going, oh, I couldn't be bothered and I want to find money off it still.
So I really think the best thing for me to do, honestly, is
wipe your goddamn mouth, because there is no way you don't know that's there. There's no way. You cannot smear that crap on your face and not know. Has she just given in to feeder content because vacation is coming up?
let you guys know that
You're not going to try.
I can't promise I won't get stuck, you know, in a cycle.
Nobody asked you to promise that, but stop taking it out on your audience when you do.
I can't promise that I'll do well.
Not expecting it.
I can promise to be transparent.
That was interesting. She's like, essentially she's saying there, I'm not going to be honest about this. Which is, ironically, perhaps the most honest thing she says in this entire video. Because you can explain to your audience a lot of things, and you can tell them, you know, I may fail, and people will accept it. But if you're saying, I may not be honest with you, and I know as I say this that I probably won't be honest with you, if you just admit you're going to lie to them, what sympathy are you expecting for that? Because you're not going to get any. You can do a lot of things and still be transparent.
The good and the bad.
If you already have garlic and parmesan, why do you need ranch as well? Just a question. It seems to have sauce on it. Napkin? Maybe napkin? You can't tell me they didn't include some.
But I can't really promise anything else because I'm having a hard time eating healthy food.
Having a hard time eating healthy food is a natural part of the dieting process. Struggling is a natural part of the dieting process. Doing this is not. Stop incentivizing your food, stop relying on the amount of food you can consume for your income, and you might have an easier time of it. Because you cannot tell me with the thumbnail that she wasn't hoping to draw people in. Because when it comes to these mukbangs, that kind of spread for the people who are looking for that will cause more attention. And even for the critics of this, will cause more attention.
Apparently.
Apparently. Does she mean obviously?
And dieting. So.
I think the fact is she considers every change a diet. And once she was diagnosed with diabetes years and years and years ago, that is basically the definition of lifestyle change. Diets are limited, and she freaks out at the thought of one. But to her, anything that reduces anything below this, anything that controls her behavior in any way is an unreasonable diet that she can't stick to, which is why we've suggested therapy on many an occasion. Oh, I don't know if it was this or if it was in the live when she was talking. Maybe I did watch some of the live then. Why am I remembering this? Maybe I watched a few minutes. I definitely didn't watch the whole thing. But at some point, potentially in the live that I thought I hadn't watched because it all blurs into one, she said the doctor didn't recommend anything. And I was sitting there thinking, didn't he recommend a nutritional course that you haven't been to? Like, he probably looked at her and was like, let's just make sure she doesn't die today. And let's recommend her for education. And she hasn't been.
The cookie is so soft.
I'm pretty sure it's a brownie. Usually those things are brownies. Brookie, maybe? I don't really like the word brookie. I don't know why. I understand it's a marrying of the two, which must be delicious, but I don't know why. I don't know why every time she bites into the chicken, I just want to go, Jesus! Surely my tolerance is higher, but something about it just being covered in sauce, maybe. She's got this plate extremely high up. I feel like it's higher up than usual. She's sitting lower than usual.
So that disappoints you, I get it.
I think we're past the point that our audience is disappointed and just at the point where our audience is angry. Angry at being actively lied to for so long. She's past the point where sympathy could be applied.
If you'd rather tune in only when I'm on track, I get it.
How would we know? When was the last time you were on track? Tell me. She showed a picture, was it on her community, of her eating rice and lentils because she was trying to use up the things in the kitchen. Because she was like, oh, we need to do like perishable items. And I didn't understand because rice and dried lentils are not perishable. Like, you could leave those for your vacation and you would be fine. And she also had like a bag of greens, which she usually gets with takeout. So I don't know, I think there's something going on there.
When you're watching me, it's probably better not to have like expectations.
Yeah, that's true. But also, if you have no intention of following through, it's probably better that you not set those expectations. Because as long as we've been with Chantal, Chantal has been with herself. She knows she's not going to go through it. So why do this?
On outcomes.
Clearly it's our fault. We shouldn't have like listened to her. Don't be ridiculous.
Beyond this Parmesan sauce, most people who have successful weight loss channels, a lot of them have already lost the weight, like Fat Girl Fed Up. Even she's had some slip ups, but
I should try watching her maybe.
Obese to Beast. They didn't film their journey during the journey.
Chantal does always make the mistake of saying like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then having announced that kind of takes the place in her brain of her actually doing it because it already feels like a success. She already gets the attention for it and then she never gets to the actual activity. So she's got a point there. People who succeed generally do it before telling people.
They didn't film the ups and downs.
Wait, didn't Obese to Beast actually film the ups and downs? I feel like his name, Obese to Beast, might have been because he started as a weight loss. I don't know enough about him.
They didn't film the many attempts and failures at trying over the years.
But crucially, they did succeed, which you don't seem to be on track for.
They filmed the end result.
Yeah?
Of them finally succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's what you're waiting for me, I understand not wanting to tune in until then.
This is just her trying to be like, don't like, don't watch. The fact that she can talk about succeeding with a straight face while downing this is beyond me.
The wings are a bit fatty, honestly.
The wings and not the lashings of sauce you're putting on it? How can you tell at this point?
It's weird.
It's not weird. I assume wings are crispy when they come out and then they sit in a box while they're being delivered and everything goes soggy. That's not really weird. That's normal.
I actually want to do a challenge. Oh my gosh.
I just want Julia to dive bomb her. Just be like, straight into the pizza boxes.
What are you doing up here?
And then a really terrible part of my brain is like, if Julia sat on the brownies or licked the brownies, would Chantal eat it? Probably.
My cat is beezing.
Get her, Julia. The sparkle we're seeing on Chantal's face, not her eyes, her face. Is it fallout from the eyeshadow, or are the filters making her sparkle? Or both?
So yeah, I mean, you know, it's not realistic.
For you to not eat a triple bypass box, I think it is realistic. It'd be
For there to be no...
Sorry. It would be realistic to expect a person claiming they want to change to not eat a triple bypass box.
She's insane, as cats are. So I don't make these videos to troll or rage bait.
She does sometimes, but she also makes them for money. And she knows that these kinds of videos will get her more attention, more views, more money than other kinds. Especially now, like, the raging isn't as productive monetarily as it used to be because it's getting too common.
I just do it because I'm simply having a hard time not eating this food.
Sorry, it's bounced to my cup. You can have a hard time eating and say, okay, I'm not going to benefit from it. I'm going to take it out of something that benefits me and see if that makes a difference to how I consider it. It might not, but you don't have to showcase it like this. You will, because you get paid to do it, but...
So I'm not going to make those promises anymore.
That is the ultimate Chantal way. I recognise that I am failing in this, so instead of making changes, I'm just going to stop trying. The problem here is clearly that I told you, not that I'm having issues with the food and that I should address that. Let's not reflect on why this might be happening. Let's just stop promising you things and then you guys won't be mad.
But I'm not giving up.
You seem to be giving up. And if you don't, it seems like your heart will. I'm sure your diabetes is loving that brownie.
How can you give up when you haven't even really started, you know?
I feel like that meme, you know, with the guy that's going... You know, you can't fail if you don't start.
Do you guys like flats or drumettes?
Not important here. That just means she was a little bit uncomfortable with what she just said because for a horrible moment her brain reflected on it and now she needs to change the subject. Got a little bit too real for her.
I love the flats. He's not big on eating chicken without rice.
Please just wipe your hands. You don't need to lick them. Especially as you've been touching the cat.
That's what...
Oh man, that was a throwback to BBJ, wasn't it?
Okay, one more cookie.
Of course.
And then I'll give him the rest.
Will you now?
Julie, I wish you were human so you could eat this with me.
Julia's gonna kill her in her sleep. You can see her plotting.
It's like a cookie pizza.
An 8-slice cookie pizza. I'm sure Sansa Cooks has probably done a breakdown of the calories of this and the nutritional value, so I'm not going to get into it, but I can't imagine it's good for her.
So yes, that's the deal.
I think she said in the live at some point that she had one piece of pizza left. So you tell me now what you think the chance is of any of that cookie being left. Because if she's left one piece of pizza, you know she's going to have scarfed the cookie.
Yeah, I want to do a challenge where I'm like, because we have some food that we have to get rid of before travel. Because we're going to be traveling for a bit of time.
A bit of time that is as yet undecided depending on whether we're allowed back over borders, yeah.
Long enough that we want to get rid of the food, right? When you go on vacation, you want to get rid of anything perishable, so
like dried lentils and rice, that kind of stuff?
I want to kind of do a challenge where I try to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner or some meals out of what we have already.
All of her meals are going to be like cheese. She's just full of cheese.
It's not food I love, that's why I order. It's like not interesting. It's like normal food, you know? There's a lot of eggs. A lot.
Oh, yeah, eggs. She could, and I realise as I say this, it's ridiculous to think that she would, but she could make something out of the eggs and freeze that. I do love a quiche. I don't think she'll do it.
I don't love eggs, but I can stomach them if I make my cheese eggs. Put them with a lot of cheese.
Yeah,
so.
do a cheese and onion quiche.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. I guess that's it for now.
Yep.
Thank you for listening to me and eating with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, we're gonna leave her there. We'll see how many meals we get out of her kitchen, because one thing that always causes me to marvel is how unsustainable her groceries are for how much she spends. So God knows what she can actually make, but I suppose we'll see. All right, everybody, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.